I mean, a lot of people in chat are kind of what you're alluding to a few different things that me and you have talked about behind the scenes about, you're talking about recording new music. I don't know. People have been clamoring about, Black Tongue and all this stuff. Do you mind sharing some of the stuff you're working on right now with the?
Yeah. Let's get into that. So to answer the big question straight off the bat, there is not a Black Tongue album in the works at the minute, unfortunately. But as we've said, like numerous times and put in posts and things like that, and we do absolutely mean it, Black Tongue will never die. Strange eons, even death may die type shit. Black Tongue's here to stay. And the reason people, they're like, oh shit, it's been 6 years, like where have you gone stuff? It's Black Tongue was never a business for us. And I know that sounds silly, but bands have to be a business. Like you have, if you're more than just playing local shows, as soon as you start touring, you have to be a business. And obviously we got signed and that was a fucking shit show. And, made us pack it in for a little bit. And so when we tried that, when it didn't work,
a lot of stuff happened with the band, period. Right. Like throughout the band's career, from tours being canceled to then, stuff with COVID and all that, a big journey for Black Tongue over the years.
Yeah, for sure. And so we're like, right, we're not treating this as a business. We're not playing the game. We're not doing the rat race. We're just going to do it as and when, when it feels right to us. And I like that. But obviously I think I like touring the most out of everybody in the band. I know some of the members don't like it at all. I love it. It absolutely gives me fucking life. Performing is, that's magic for me. That's ritual magic. I don't mean that in a silly way. I mean that like deadly seriously. But yeah, we couldn't. So that's why we haven't toured as much as you might think. And it doesn't help that we can't really tour America, which is where our biggest, fan base is.
Mm-hmm.
And, we will, because this is what, like a little peek behind the curtain and why this is so difficult is to get even considered for a tour, you need to have the tour booked, which means when they deny your fucking visas, not only do you then lose loads of money for everything that you've booked, if you can't get a refund on it, which for a lot of stuff you can, like the flights and stuff, you also lose a tour and nobody knows all of this background stuff. So you can only do that a couple of times, like we've tried to, and get denied and lose £6,000 each time, which is no small amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, you lose this respect and trust of the fans. So if you try to keep doing it, people aren't even going to buy the tickets because they're like, oh, well, no, every time they come, they just fucking sack it off, even though we hadn't sacked it off.
Mm-hmm.
And that eventually becomes too much and you just can't do it anymore. So very likely we'll never be back and it fucking sucks because it was absolutely amazing. So that in combination with, later, because obviously that was quite early on, and that's been fucking plaguing us since 2015.
Right, it's almost been 10 years.
Yeah. And then obviously there was the accident in 2015, which interrupted a pretty big tour. Which people are like, oh, you missed the European tour got fucked because of it. But then we were meant to be going straight from that to America. Well, we'd have just got stopped at the fucking border and not let in, so that, that would have never happened regardless.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously we did bits here and there. I mean, 2016 was great. 17 was good. 18 we did Nadia, kind of made a bit of a comeback and it was good. 2019 was great. We did some really good tours. We did the Baltic states and, Russia again. And we did Europe, like a summer Europe tour, and it was just fucking fantastic. I had such a great time. And then we did Canada at the end of the year, which was fantastic. And then after that, straight into fucking COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And that was rough. It was rough for fucking everybody on the planet. I know it was. But it was especially rough for, bands because it came in tandem with Brexit. which for a long time, and I don't even know if it's really been resolved, pretty much wrote off touring for small UK bands to get to Europe.
Yeah.
Which was one of the big, that was obviously with us being an island, getting onto the continent is like, that's your first step as a band. Do you know what I mean? That gets you known in Europe. And once you start doing it in Europe, you get a name for yourself and then you can go further afield. Well, that looked like it was off the table for everybody because obviously it's expensive going to like America or Australia or whatever because you have to, you know, to get the visa and stuff. It was looking like you'd have to get a visa for every European country that you were going to.
Yeah.
Whereas a year previously, a person from the UK could have got on the Eurotunnel, landed in Calais, and then got on a train and gone through every fucking country in Europe without once getting their passport out.
Yeah.
And that was completely fucking ruined by the Tories, who I will never forgive. But that's the thing. I like, obviously, that caused me a lot of fucking stress. It caused the band a lot of stress because we're like, right, well, what do we do? Do you know what I mean? We like too many options are being taken off the board now. And we're all, you know, we're all getting older, and we're like, well, have we fucked it? You know, or as you know, the stars aligned that this ain't going to work for us. I mean, and obviously, as we said, we went treating it as a business. It's not like we lost out like that, but you know, it made people, you know, want to invest less in it. You know, personally. You know, so people moved on with their lives, you know, and rightly so as well, because we didn't know what we were going to do. You know, and that's really one of the reasons why, you know, there ain't a new album or why there's not been anything for a while, because, you know, I'm sure a lot of people can agree, it feels like the last 3 years just went by like that. They just didn't exist, you know.
Dude.
It's like I woke up in my fucking mid-30s, like, whoa.
Yep.